I'm Christian.
And I'm Jacob. And today we're going to talk about how our decisions and how we behave can influence the people around us, whether we know it or not.
What do you mean by that, Jacob?
Well, we all learn through the example of others. You'll see with a little child that they talk and behave in a way that their parents and older siblings do. Sometimes we even get influenced by the people we look up to. I remember one time for me, the teacher was coming by to check our homework and I hadn't done it. And I was ready to lie about it to the teacher.
Jacob.
I know. But the teacher got to my friend Liam first, and Liam hadn't done his homework either. But he told the truth. And seeing Liam do the right thing influenced me so that when the teacher came to me, I told the truth too.
So what happened?
Well, the teacher took away some marks because I didn't do my homework. But I felt a lot better about it all after.
Well, I'm glad you did the right thing. In today's God story, we're going to learn about Jesus' baptism and how he set the greatest example for us.
That sounds pretty good to me. Let's check it out.
Hello friends, welcome to Fun Coffee Facts with Aaron. Did you know that coffee was discovered by an Ethiopian goat herder? See, his goats would eat the beans and then they found out that they were super hyper and didn't sleep. And that's how we got coffee. Hey everyone, it's Aaron. Great to be with you. So a few years ago, I was a camp counselor for the first time, and I was super nervous, mainly because I wanted to be the cool leader, and I wasn't really concerned with, the rules or anything. So we did a lot of stupid things. Now, the one thing that we did that I still regret is we actually snuck into the kitchen in the middle of the night, like got all full of camo and gear and stuff and snuck in, and we actually stole 10 boxes of cookies and then brought them back to our cabin and ate them all and were sick. But it was a great memory for all of us, but wasn't exactly the greatest example. So throughout the New Testament, we have lots of good examples for us. We have Jesus, we have the disciples, we have the early church, but we know because of who Jesus is, because he's God, he is the best example for us to follow. And that's today's big idea. Jesus sets an example for us. And that's not just in how we love people, but it's many other things through the stories, through the teachings. All that Jesus did in the Gospels sets as an example for us. Today we are starting a series called Follow. Now in our culture, we always point to the leader. We love to talk about leaders. But there is something to be learned as well about following. How do we follow those leaders? And we can learn this best from the life of Jesus. So we're gonna take a look at that in Matthew 3 today. So where we're picking up in the story, we have John the Baptist. Now he is teaching in the desert of Judea, and he is actually telling people to repent from their sins and the kingdom of heaven is coming. He's basically preparing the way for Jesus. In fact, and this is crazy, hundreds of years ago, Isaiah the prophet was writing, and he was writing about John. Let's read what it says. He is a voice shouting in the wilderness, prepare the way for the Lord's coming, clear the road for him. Now, John was a bit of an interesting guy. He wore clothes out of camel's hair, and I can't imagine how itchy that would be. He also ate honey and locusts, which, no, not gonna go there. Locusts sound disgusting. But even though he was super odd, people still came to hear what he had to say. He was teaching all about repenting from sins. And not only that, but he was baptizing people. He was saying, I want you to be right with God. In fact, John was becoming so popular that the Pharisees and the Sadducees came to see him. Now, they were a little bit too concerned with following the rules. And John said to them, guys, you just have to learn how to love people and act in a way that you're not leaning into your sin. And then John said to the Pharisees, he said, I'm baptizing with water, but somebody is coming after me who will be more powerful than me. I'm not even worthy to carry his sandals. And he's gonna baptize you with fire and Holy Spirit. And then he came, and it was Jesus. So Jesus comes down to see John the Baptist, and he says, I want you to baptize me. And John is like, no, that's not how it works. You have to baptize me. So Jesus comes back to him and says, no, it's right for you to baptize me. It's fulfilling God's plan. So John agrees to baptize Jesus. Let's see how it turned out. After his baptism, as Jesus came up out of the water, the heavens were opened, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and settling on him. And a voice from heaven said, This is my dearly loved Son, who brings me great joy. What an awesome moment. I wish I was there. I mean, the heavens opened up, the Spirit came down. Like, this is better than any movie you could watch. Now, let's back up a second though, because people are often baptized, especially by John, because they wanted to be forgiven of their sins. And Jesus didn't really need that. So what's going on? See, Jesus is transforming what baptism means now. It's not about forgiving of sins, it's about saying, I want to follow Jesus. And Jesus sets an example for us in this. Look at what God said. He says, I am so proud of you, not because of what you've done, but just because of who you are. And he says the same things to us. See, Jesus is just showing us what we need, that we need to just follow him. It's not about all the little things that we do. It's not about the rules. It's about love and just saying, I want to be closer to you in a relationship with you, God. And that brings me back to today's big idea. Jesus sets an example for us. When we want to learn how to live, how to love, how to be like Jesus, we need to learn how to follow him, because his way is better than anything else that we can imagine. And when we get to know Jesus more, when we follow him, when we read stories, when we talk about him, we learn more about that example and what we need to follow. Well, everyone, that is all we have for today. I will see you next week.
Wow, what an amazing story. I can totally understand why John wanted to be baptized by Jesus, but what a moment that John got to baptize the Son of God.
It must have been super cool. And the fact that Jesus was obedient to what God wanted him to do, he set a great example for us to follow.
Exactly like what I was talking about earlier, how we learn from the example of others. We're gonna check in now with Maddie and a few of her friends and find out who they look up to and what they're looking for in a role model.
So what do a bunch of teenagers do on a Friday night? We checked in with Maddie and her friends during a karaoke night where they played games, talked about their favorite singers, and what they're looking for in a role model.
You know, Harry Styles, I think he's just a great person and, you know, someone that everybody can kind of relate to and look up to.
He has great hair.
He does have great hair. His music just works with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, you like him too.
Yes.
Okay, what do you like?
He can dance. At concerts, you can see videos of him hyping up the crowd.
Ready, set, go. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, it must be hard growing up without any privacy.
Yeah, but look at any child actor.
Yeah.
Look at how they end up.
Yeah, like Demi Lovato had this huge phase where she, yeah. No, I like Demi Lovato. I'm just saying she had some tough patches where she had to deal with some stuff.
So what are we looking for in a role model?
I'd say someone who just supports and accepts you and it's just...
No matter what.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. And personally, positivity for me.
Yeah.
But...
Or someone, even if they had trouble when they were growing up or something that happened that was significant in their life, a way to find positivity through it.
Yeah.
And to become stronger through it.
Yeah, and learn from it.
Yeah, and be able to encourage others.
So just look at social media. You'd think someone's a perfect role model, but that's not what their life is actually like.
They show, oh my gosh, I got a new house. Let me show you this big master staircase. I don't know. Or I got a new dog.
Sometimes they pick just things that are going really well in their lives, and they don't always put out on social media what's going really poorly in their lives, whether that be a really bad day or a bad situation that's happening. A lot of times they just pick the really good moments, and that can be really deceiving for people when it looks like their lives are so perfect. Do you guys have any ideas of what a role model would be like?
You know, I would also say that people being accepting is a really big one, because I don't think there's enough of that in this world.
I think supportiveness is really important when it comes to what a role model is like. Somebody who is there for you, who's reliable and honest, but who's also really supportive through whatever you're going through.
Left blue, yellow. I think it's right there. Left foot, green. Left hand, green.
Yeah, you know what? Those girls look like they know how to have fun.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Christian, I feel like I could picture you doing karaoke too.
Yeah. Maybe I should try it sometime. Anyways, I agree with what they said. I think we all want someone to support and accept us no matter what.
And you know what? We all have that with Jesus. But we can take it a step further. When we make decisions about who to be friends with and where to spend our time, we can look at the example that Jesus sets for us with how to live, to love, and to give.
Yeah. Well, let's break into our small groups and see how this looks in our own lives.